What's up, guys? It is Super Bowl Sunday. This is your boy Raider Nation Jason coming in for the last game of the season. What is up, guys? Good morning. Good morning. It is bittersweet, man. Bittersweet. Last football game of the season. Our most hated rivals playing each other in our damn stadium. Can't get no worse than that. But like I say, somebody's gonna cry. Tony Salute. Good morning. Good morning. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everything is, I know it's kind of sucks to watch this, watch this game, but I love football at the end of the day. And I definitely will be tuned in. Let's see. I sent out some links too, so like we'll have some people on and everything like that. We got the cat in the back going crazy. Hey. Hey. Let me see. Yeah, got a lot of stuff going on. So, like I say, somebody will. Hey, come here. Yeah, you're safer over here. Come on. So, somebody will cry. One of our rivals will have to eat a big fat L. And too bad it's not two of them. But at least we know at least one of them. It's going to be a long trip home. Sad trip home. But, it should be a good game. I'm looking forward to I don't want to see a defensive game. I really want to see, some points. I want to see some scoring. I want to see both offenses let go. You're crazy. As you can see, Pickles is fired up. This is Pickles' first Super Bowl here. So, of course she's fired up. She's ready to go. She's getting her, hey, don't be cranky. She's a little shy. She don't like being on TV, but, Hey. Sorry about that, guys. All right, back to business. Yeah, so, watching this game, I know it's kind of going to be painful, but it's all we got. It's the, it's the last game of the season, so, hey. Okay, you want to play. Like I say, I stay out here in San Francisco now. The 49ers are the Bay's saving grace, the old faithful, if you will. They are thirsty for a Super Bowl win. Haven't won one since 94. Sheesh, that's a long time. But it's been even longer for us. But they've been to a couple, definitely been to a couple since then. And against Baltimore, against KC, Baltimore, we remember, let the lights out game. And KC, a few years ago, 2019. So 0-2 in Super Bowl since then. Will they be 0-3? We shall see. I know there's a lot of players. Bosa was a rookie, I think, that year. They had Fred Warner. There's a lot of players that remember that loss. So, will that be enough to drive them to get it done this time? I think the thing with the last matchup, I was kind of rewatching, and it was more of them not being, running the ball for one, being aggressive for two. TNN salute. Cortez, what's going on? Yeah, but them taking their foot off the gas and not, running the ball, melting the clock, and taking the ball out of Karate Cat. Yeah, taking the ball out of Mahomes' hands and keeping him on the sidelines, which will be important today. And there's a lot of things that they will have to do right this game versus what it's like they started off strong. They got up, at 20-10. That's when things started going south. And Jimmy, we seen Jimmy at the end of that game. Go Jimmy of 2023. It was I guess, maybe there was a lot of things. There was that long bomb to Tyreek Hill that kind of gave them that shot of life. And, with Tyreek Hill, you got to keep him in front of you. And they got kind of turned around, and he was able to break off, I think, a 40-yard or 40-plus yard bomb or something like that. But, that was kind of the start. Then they went down. They scored. The Niners were kind of stagnant on offense, and then pretty much they scored again. And so there was an opportunity for them to, go down the field. Or actually, they turned the ball over on 4 downs. They tried to stop them, and they had all their timeouts and everything like that. But then Williams ended up scoring. He just pretty much ran it, and ended it right there. So they went from being down, I think it was 4-11. So yeah, so that's how that went. But there was points where Niners could have got that pass to goodness, I'm blanking his name right now, but the guy Emmanuel Sanders. He had a chance, but he overthrew him, and there was a lot of balls batted down. It was a lot of stuff. There was a kind of a rhythm thing. It kind of knocked Jimmy out of his rhythm. He didn't couldn't, because even the plays, I think there was one he was going to Debo, and he had Debo open, but it got batted down by one of the D linemen. So, it just threw off the rhythm of the drive, and they weren't able to, get the first down and keep going. But this time, there is no Jimmy G. There is no Tyreek Hill. So I think this will be a better matchup, I think, than the last time. Both defenses are, better. I'd say both defenses are better since the last time. And the offenses are, I want to say I give the Niners a little slight advantage about in the offensive category, just because of McCaffrey, and they have a lot of moving parts, like the Debos and Um, Kittle is, I think they're about well. I think Kelsey's a little bit more productive, like numbers wise, but Kittle can do some things too. He can rumble. So there's going to be a lot of factors in this game. Starting with will CMC carry the Niners to a win? For me, he's the X factor of them actually getting this win. I think he will have to do the most. He's going to have to be, because if he can run the ball, if he can consistently get these gains and, make it easier for Brock Purdy to kind of, so he doesn't have to do too much, throwing the ball, and because they're going to be after him. That's one thing they do have a line. KC does have a line that can get after guys. But CMC is going to have to be very active. He's going to have to be a threat because if I'm KC, my game plan is to stop CMC. We're going to shadow 23, and we're going to have to let somebody else beat us. Because that's the thing. Like, you can have everybody covered, and then CMC can just bust you out of the backfield. He's hard to bring down, especially one-on-one. So, if I was KC, I would be everywhere the CMC goes. That's where we at. Wherever he going, we going to. So, if you can stop him, then you force Purdy to have to make throws, and they got KC's got DBs that can do the job. And Justin Reed is a pretty good safety. I know he's given us a little trouble in the past too. But yeah, he definitely is an aggressive safety, and it's going to be a good matchup, man. I wonder what they're going to do to try to stop McCaffrey. Let me see. So another one of their weapons too is Deebo Samuels. Will Deebo be Deebo? Because I know he had injured his shoulder, I believe it was, or something like that. And yeah, I'm sure he's gonna play. But is he healthy enough to be a threat, or even a decoy? Like, even if he's not 100% healthy or whatever, he probably is too. I'm not saying he's not going to be good, but there's a chance that it might not be healed by this time. But it's the Super Bowl, it's the biggest game of the year, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna play. But yeah, they definitely need him, because speed is what is going to be difficult for that KC defense to deal with. San Francisco likes to spread everyone out, and speed definitely helps in that. Getting Deebo out. So it really opens it up for McCaffrey. That's why I say, like, they definitely need Deebo to be there to help McCaffrey, because if everyone's zoned in on McCaffrey, that means somebody else has to step up. So that is, and of course, can Mr. Irrelevant, can Mr. Irrelevant get his team a ring? From where his journey started, not bad, kid. Last year Purdy hurt his arm, and they were pretty much on the rise, and that kind of knocked the wind out of their sails, and they never were able to recover. So last year, he did well. And it's the defense too. They kind of they played into that too. But he did pretty good in bouncing back from that, I think too. From being injured, from being where he was drafted at, to the situation, like being injured and having to fight back. They were thinking he wasn't going to be ready for the beginning, and he made it game one. So it's crazy. He made it happen. But he's got to be, because they don't want to put the ball 100% in his hands. They don't want to have him where all the D is just zoning in, trying to tear his head off. Because like I said, this game is going to be a game where you leave it all on the field. Like there is no I'm gonna save myself for next game, or there's none of that. Like there's none of that anyway. But especially today, I mean, this is where the best offensive plays, like everything that you brought all year, like the best of the best, you're gonna bring. Like your most successful plays throughout the season, those staples, those go-tos, those you're bringing those, and then you're tweaking them. You're bringing new looks, new little tweaks in the play, and it's you're not gonna. Well, you shouldn't. I don't think you should be conservative. I feel like you should be, because like with a team like KC, they're not going to be shy about putting points on you. That's the one thing they're not going to do. They're going to try to embarrass you. That's the one thing. They're going to be trying to ring around the rosy and all this crazy stuff just to show you that, like, we know we're better than you. We're going to beat you, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. It's like that's what they do. It's like they have so many different plays, and it's like sometimes you won't even see the same plays over and over again. It's like they have a good offensive game plan, game after game. So will will they get it done? All right, defense for San Francisco needs to play its best game. It's been, I know I said earlier, this is the best these defenses have been, but I think it's just a good matchup. It's not kind of like a lopsided thing where last time they met, it was KC's offense against San Francisco's defense. But now both teams have a defense. Um, this is, like I said, let's see what they learned since 2019 matchup. Um, it's gonna and see, the funny thing is everybody's healthy. If I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong, but I feel like Bosa might have been not 100%. He played and everything like that, but if I'm not mistaken, he was coming off like some kind of, if it was an ankle or just something that kind of where he wasn't 100%. But like I said, I could be wrong, but if I remember, it was something like that. But you got everybody healthy. You have everyone pretty much full strength. And KC, the only thing is KC is not as scary as, like the past offensive, threats. Like I remember that they had I think it was Denarius, what's his name? We had him for a little bit. Robinson. They had Watkins, they had Hill, Kelsey, the whole shebang. And it was definitely a packed offense. Like they had speed, speed, speed. But this time they don't really have that offensive firepower like that. I mean, they still have weapons, but it's way different. It's not built on speed anymore. Let's see. Appreciate you. Thank you. And the Chiefs. Not again. Not again. So I have a bet with Hefe KC. And we made this bet, it was like I'd say early in the season. And he had bet that the Chiefs were gonna win the Super Bowl again. And then so of course I was gonna take that bet. And I'm hoping that, they don't make it, they get knocked off. And they end up in the damn Super Bowl again. So, and it's funny because the team that they play is the Niners. So it's like it's a damn shame. I got to put faith in them to not lose money. So, But it's crazy because I never knew it would come down to this. But yeah, the that's just a little fun fact about that game. This game, KC must be dominant in the run game to beat SF. If you control the run, if you can control the run, you control the Chiefs. Yep, because they're gonna have to make Mahomes do, pretty much do the most. We're gonna make him scramble, make him have to, extend the play and everything like that. But if you consistently do that, just keep the pressure on him. He's a lot less of a threat if you can consistently stay in his face. So the running game has to be strong. You got to have Pacheco. He needs to do his thing, run hard, be efficient on those first down runs. Like he has to crank out 5-6 yards if he can, if possible, just to make it easier for the offense to flow. Because that's how they've been kind of rocking this year. Is Pacheco's been doing a well enough job that they've been sticking with him. They've been, he like I said, he runs hard. That's one thing you can't say that he doesn't half-ass. He goes. And if he can keep getting those carries, KC goes as far as number 10 can carry them. Keeping Mahomes out of third and longs, because he's able to, it opens up their playbook because he's able to scramble and he's very witty when it comes to, creating opportunity, creating time in the pocket, creating space. He's done it all. Like we've seen him literally do it all. And, speaking of him, Chef Boyarp, can Mahomes continue his legacy? Oh, in fact, we got a guest, man. Let's let our guest on. It is the one, the only, Nutty Raider Nate.
What's good with you, bro?
Man, what's going on, man? I hope I didn't leave you hanging too long.
No, you good. You good. I'm chilling. How you
Yeah,
doing,
what's
man?
what's going on with you, man? Oh,
Same old.
blessed, man. Just just it sucks that it's the last game, you know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. Gets
Yeah,
us to our
yeah. I hate this time of year. Every, me, the Raiders are out, and I'm thinking about the draft and free agency, and yeah, I hear you, bro.
hell yeah. I can't wait for the draft and all that. I've been doing the mock drafts and what I mean, just try to see what we can do to get our team in a better position.
Exactly. Well, now lately, more recently, it's the free agency that important will kind of tell you what direction we're going in the draft as far as what kind of big splashes we make in free agencies that will kind of determine if we go get a quarterback in the draft or if we stock up on O line or something, whatever we do.
Definitely. I know like at first I kind of wasn't, too big on that tackle at 13, but it like you said, it depends on what we do in free agency because that might
Yeah.
be, might be where a bigger need by then.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I know the Super Bowl ain't, the sexiest matchup, but what I mean,
Oh,
it's
bro. It's the worst case scenario, bro.
yeah, like hey, I was telling him like I made a bet with Hefe and that the Chiefs he said the Chiefs were gonna win the Super Bowl. So I'm like, shit, bet. I mean, I got 31 other teams that might, somebody's gonna get it done. But then, here we are. And the team I gotta depend on to
Yeah.
knock them off is the damn Niners. It just don't get no better. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you can't script this.
Yeah. It's it's terrible, bro. Yeah. Would you bet Hefe? Is it
A
some
little
money?
soft, yeah, a little soft hundo. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay.
Just a little something. You know what I mean? But it's just the principle that I don't want to have to
Yeah.
pay. I don't never want to pay a Chiefs fan.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
probably he's a Chief fan. He probably wouldn't pay anyway. But
exactly. You feel me?
can't trust those Chiefs.
Yeah, but hey, it's we'll see how it goes. But
Yeah.
like you excited for? What are you kind of excited for coming up? More the draft or the the free agency.
Yeah, I think free agency is bigger to me. It will at least in the way of telling us what we're doing in the draft. I think kind of give us a better idea of what this new regime is thinking of and their process, their thought process, and their talent evaluation as well. Free agency is going to tell me a lot more about what I need to know. The draft, you know what I mean? It's so hit and miss. You won't be able to tell with the draft until like 3 4 years from now. So um, free agency, I think, is gonna give us a big clue in who we got running our team right now.
Yeah, like what was your thoughts on having AP back?
Oh, it's lovely. That's who I wanted. That's who the players wanted. It's who I wanted. It brings consistency, some kind of cohesiveness. Um, you know what I mean? We're not restarting again. We're still in build mode. I don't want to say rebuilding mode, but we're still building. We got to figure out some key pieces, which is why I'm not too keen on getting a quarterback in the draft and trying to build around him. I think we build a team first, and then we can worry about the quarterback position. I think that's what good teams do, at least.
All right, let's talk about it. Hey, because I feel this. I kind of feel the same way because I don't think Aiden was that bad. Like, in the heat of the moment of the season and everything like that, of course, like I wanted something better. I felt like there was a better, the better choice, but
Facts.
that was the only option we, really had. But then
Yeah.
at the end of the day, when you look, when the smoke clears and everything like that, he wasn't that bad. I mean, of course, there was things I wanted him to kind of do better and do more, like running and, kind of being better in the pocket. But I just remember how far he's come because I remember that Charger game where he fumbled hella times, like,
Hmm.
and it was like, but then when you look at it, he really didn't have those struggles later. You know what I mean? It's kind of like he learned from his mistakes, and he really didn't repeat that. And
Yeah.
it's like, and that's you got to give him credit for that because for and how he got pushed into the situation. No one thought he would do really this well, and he started off. He was consistent in preseason,
Yep.
and they said he was the best. He was the best quarterback steal of the draft and everything like that. And I believe, I really do believe it. Like, and I would like to see him at least get one more season to try to show like a full season
Yeah.
because I think that will tell us yes or no right there.
Yeah.
That will tell us if he's the guy because we're harsh critics. You know what I mean? We're gonna we're gonna
Yep.
let him know what it is, but like it's I think he deserves another full shot before we kind of move on to to another. And like you said, it's cheaper for us to keep him and build around and keep building this defense and just adding weapons that we're going to need for whoever's the quarterback. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But instead of keep taking chances and stuff on like because we've been drafting DTs every year trying to find one, and it's like that's draft picks we
Hmm.
could have used on something else to build other spaces on the team.
Hmm. Yeah. How much talent we passed up on because we thought we had certain players in the building that were going to be it, and they turned out to just be duds. And I agree with you with the Aiden O'Connell, bro. He needs a real legitimate shot and a real chance. He was being handicapped by Josh McDaniels last year.
Hmm.
We fed him to the vultures week 4 against the Chargers, and we lied about protections and not we, but you know who I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was lying to us about protections and yeah, bro. I'm just yeah, bro. Aiden O'Connell, he needs a legitimate shot. Um, that week 4 game against the Chargers, he had all those fumbles. He didn't have any practice with the ones that
Yeah.
week. They literally the 2 days before the game, they were like, Aiden O'Connell's going to get the start. And by that time, that they're just watching films. They're not even getting any real life reps no more during the week. You know what I mean? It's like walkthroughs pretty much. And so McDaniel set him up for failure. I McDaniel set us up for failure in general. So um, let's see what he can do with the real OC, with somebody who's not egotistical as the last guy.
Yeah.
and let's give this kid a shot. I mean, I think there's something there because we tend to forget about what he did in preseason. It's preseason. I know everyone's gonna give me shit, but he was the best looking quarterback in preseason, including all the vets. Like he put up the stats. He was accurate. He looked nice in a simple offense. I understand it's simplified, but at the same time, you can only do what they can only go up against who they put up against you. You know what I mean? So
Like I know it's preseason. It's preseason, but he beat the Niners, didn't he?
yep, yep,
Hey, I think he had us at that one right there.
yep. Oh, bro, I was ready to run through a wall back after that week, bro. I was like, "Oh, we're going to the Super Bowl preseason week. What? That was week one in preseason. Yep, I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah, it definitely matters because they
I
still
think,
talk about that. They still mad about that.
yeah, yeah, and I think this year we play in Levi's
Oh yeah,
for the preseason game. So I'm gonna be at that one for
oh
sure.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna be there too for sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
we'll meet up there. We'll tailgate, bro.
Hell yeah,
Hell yeah.
that's what's up. Yeah, it's gonna be cool, man. Like yeah, we just got to get this one out. But yeah, like I was saying, like it sucks, but at least we know somebody's gonna cry at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You
Hell yeah.
know, I'm gonna watch the whole thing because it's like there's nothing like that shot because you got everybody celebrating, yeah, all this kind of stuff, and then they pan to the other side, and you
Yeah.
got you got people head in hands and crying,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean, like
Towels over their heads and heads
yeah, it's
down.
like
Yeah.
because we've been there. You know what I'm saying? We know what that
Yeah.
feels like. So it's not like we wishing that like it's
Yeah.
just it's a part of it. It's a
Yeah.
reality of the game. Like
And another good point. No matter what, who wins, both of these teams are going to get picked off from other teams in the off season. They're going to get coaches poached from their teams, certain players that won't make the cap. So I mean, these teams are going to get going to take a step back after this year, I believe. So that's one good. That's another good thing that might come out of this.
yep. Like who do you think takes the who won't recover after this L?
Um, I don't know. Yeah, I think both of them could it could be devastating. Whoever takes this L could be devastating. They'll have to blow it up and start from scratch. I'm specifically, I think the Chiefs would hurt more. I feel like Chris Jones has his foot halfway out. He's kind of been asking for a trade since last year. Um, he looks disinterested to me. Um, so if we could get Chris Jones out of Kansas City, I think that helps us tremendously and hurts the Chiefs. San Francisco, I'm not. I don't know. It's. I think they're a pretty well team. Will belt team. Will well well built team.
Yeah.
uh, yeah, tongue twister.
Oh,
But they're good drafting for years now. They don't really miss on the draft, so I don't think they're really hurt. They might have to restart again. I think Purdy's still developing. Um, yeah, I'd like to see the Chiefs lose. Just because I think Chris Jones would be easier to pry away from that team, but the Niners the Niners are the Niners, so I can't. I'm not rooting for nobody, bro.
I know. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, and
Yeah,
if money wasn't involved, and it sucks because, like I said, I made the bet before I even, while the season was still going on. So, like, I never knew it turned out like this. But
no, bro. This is the worst. This is the worst case scenario. Yeah, it
yeah, so I was
makes
gonna
me
say,
sick.
whatever win will make me not have to fork up money. That's the one I'm going for.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, but so you think win or lose, Chris Jones wins up here, or is it just if he wins, you think he'll try to stick around?
I think there's a better chance. I think either way, I think Chris Jones might be out of there. I think yeah. So I don't think it really matters. I'm just being. I don't want to see the Chiefs win, bro. I don't want to see the Niners win, but
Yeah.
oh, bro, I'm torn.
Hey,
Um,
because that would give KC more than us, right? That would give them four, or is that three?
yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah. See, I don't like that either. Like, because that's the thing. It's like and they rose so quick too. They sucked for years, and then now they're about to they're about to lap us real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So and then the Niners got like what 5. So I mean
Yeah,
we we got to catch them anyway.
yeah, yeah. It's a no win situation for Raider fans, right?
Yeah, unless an earthquake happens or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
And I guess that's not all Raider fans. We got some Raider fans
Yeah.
in Texas and everywhere else, but specifically Bay Area, California Raider fans, we ain't with this shit. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's I try to spin it like for the Bay and all this, but I mean really they don't care about us. Like they don't
Nah, they
they
kicked
don't
us
give a
out,
damn
bro.
about. Yeah, it's
They
like they
kicked us
don't.
out.
Yeah,
Like we
like
didn't pay rent or something. Like
yeah,
y'all whack.
yeah. I didn't understand how grimy it was until I came out here to San Francisco. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
they do not like us at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like it's because being from the East Bay side, we were used to everything being A's. Oh, Raiders,
Yeah.
Cal Berkeley. You know what I mean? Cal Bears and all that kind of stuff. And then when you get over here, it's Stanford and it's all the the Warriors were kind of the common. That was kind of what kept us, I guess, neutral. I mean, well, not neutral, but like kept us on, you know, give or take at on good, I guess, fair terms, I guess.
Yeah. Warriors, we could all unite, and then
Yeah, it's like what I'm
everything else
saying.
would fuck off. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. When it came to football season, it's on. And
Yeah.
then it's like when we play each other, oh yeah, it's all damn day. Like every chance you get, like until you play, and then once you play, especially if we get to win, it's like okay, we didn't caught that one. Okay, cool. You know, good luck to you. Whoop. But we about to do it. We'll see y'all in the Super Bowl.
Uh
Cause
huh.
that would be a. I want to see that one too. Before I leave this earth, I want to see the Raiders versus Niners in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Oh,
That'd be a bloodbath, bro. It'd be a
for it
fucking
all.
bloodbath.
Hey,
People
cause
don't know.
because if the NFL wants ratings, oh, if you want
Yeah.
money, you want ratings, you bring those two teams together.
Oh yeah. Oh, bro, we start a fight club and do make some extra money on the side, and
It'd be
yo,
the Fight
yeah,
Club the Fight Club tailgate.
yep, on YouTube and shit. We got this shit lit.
Hey, I'm telling you, those ratings would be
Yeah.
crazy.
So
Oh my god, it would. And then see, it's for all the chips. So like, this the ultimate bragging rights when it all mattered. When we came together, oh, we're gonna put them down.
yeah.
Because I feel like we're on the rise, and they are. That window is kind of. Well, I don't know. I'm not gonna say closing, but because this is a couple super. This is a couple. Oh, sorry, I'm all planning. I'm already plotting their losses, but this is a couple of losses in a row in the Super Bowl. Like if they lose this one, that's 0-3 since the '94 Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep. Take that L. Ah,
yeah,
but shit, oh, bro,
yeah,
I don't know, bro.
that'd be
I
crazy.
don't know.
Yeah, I
I
gotta I gotta go to work tomorrow too. So like it's gonna be either be a good day, they're either gonna be celebrating or it's gonna
yeah,
be a little awkward.
gloom and doom.
A little awkward. I might have to wear my Josh Jacobs jersey one time. Be like, well, we were the last ones to beat him, man. So you guys should have
you,
listened. You should have
you
watched
got
the
the new
tape.
jersey or you got the old number?
Oh, I still got the old classics,
Nah, okay,
the two
classic.
retro
Yep,
the
yep,
retro 28.
yep. The rookie number.
Man, I'm gonna think about I'm gonna get another one too this year because I don't know what's gonna happen with Josh, and plus he got the number change, so it's time for a new one. It's time for a
Yeah,
new,
yeah.
yeah, and especially for that game. If you like you said for the Niner game too, got to go out there for the Niner Raiders. Got to have
Mm-hmm.
got to have that brand new ski. Yeah. Are you watching the game from home, or are you going to like sports bar or whatever?
I was gonna go. I was gonna plan to go out with the homies, but they wanted to go to. We got the Matrix out here. It's like a little Asian casino.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
nice.
but no, I'm not trying to do that. It was gonna be too crowded. I was like, I'm gonna end up fucking fighting some Niner fans at some point.
Hey, that's what I say. Because hey, somebody's gonna be sad today. That's
Yeah,
what I say.
yeah.
Hey, and like I'm a warn. This is a fair warning to KC people, KC fans, and Kansas City Chiefs in general. I would get the hell out of Vegas once the game is over. No matter win or
Yep.
lose, I would get out of there. Because you're not gonna be in friendly territory. So don't we don't want to hear your stuff like and your little smart comments and all this kind of stuff. It's not the best place for you to be talking that smack. So just be humble. That's the best thing I can say. Stay humble until you get out. Till you get out of Vegas. You get away from California. You get towards you head more east
Yep.
because yeah, not the smartest thing to do. We don't take that light out there.
Hell no. Go stomp on your star like T.O.
Yeah, hey, because I could see what's his name, Jackson Mahomes. I could see him trying to do some crazy,
TikTok dances.
yeah, disrespectful. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, nah, not in our stadium.
Fruit bowl.
Yeah. Do we see the ring around the Rosie this game?
Damn. Damn. They better not be on that time, bro. They better
Hey,
not be on that time.
it's like they're in like Glee or something. Like they're like
Yeah.
doing a dance. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like they work on choreography and shit
Yep.
at practice. That's hella cocky too. They are a cocky bunch too. That's why
For
I just
real.
hope. That's why I kind of want them because I do like the underdog, man. Like I like the. No, I've never been one to chase the favorites.
Yeah, no, me too, bro.
I'm like I want I want
I
the
I go against the crowd, bro, for the most part.
exactly man. It's
Longer?
it's, it's
Okay.
gonna be six long months of nothing, or until like the draft and everything like that. But it's gonna be a long time till we see it. But these months have been this actually these last few months have been going by kind of fast too. So hopefully it continues to do so.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, let's get this shit over with. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah. So we can move on.
Yeah, get to free agency. See what we're doing for the draft. Mm. I don't think we've signed an offensive line coach, so I'm not sure what direction we're going with that yet. I wonder what Getz is going to do for that.
Yeah, that. So I kind of like. They were talking about it. I think it was JT the Brick and Alpha Kasi. I'm gonna send you a link too. I see you right there in the chat. I'm gonna send
Hey,
you
y'all
a
are in the building.
yeah. Yeah, I seen yeah, JT the Brick was talking about, them getting the guy pretty much that ran
Yeah,
ran all over us, and so that would be kind of good to see, for I guess for AP to pick his brain too and just see how teams, game plan against us.
yeah.
For sure.
They ran all over us too, though. That was still under McDaniel's era. So I don't. Everything that we did with McDaniel's, I put an asterisk right there, bro. That shit don't count. he
Yeah, that is true
he
too.
he fucked us up, bro. I swear to God, he held back Patrick Graham's play calling and packages, and the defense went from night from day as soon as he left. And AP let the dogs loose.
Yep, he was McDaniels was trying to get us that number 1 draft pick.
Bro.
He was trying. Let me see.
Maybe you're right. I don't know. That's the dumbest plan ever, though.
See, that's why I'm like, if we really wanted to get, a top pick like that, we should have just kept McDaniels. He would have got us that for sure. Because that's why I don't believe in trading up, because I'm like, we had opportunity. If at the end of the day, we could have got a top three pick easy. We could have just kept, but I know the AP thing and everything like that, but in all reality, I feel like it would be silly for us to trade up when we had a chance to get that pick. Because I think at one point we were number 6. And then I think we won some more games and stuff like that. So we ended up pretty much at 13. But, to trade all those picks when we could have naturally naturally got there, really makes no sense. But let me see. Well, so I don't know. It would definitely be. I don't know. That's a lot to it. It's a lot to give up, knowing that you don't know if they are the guy unless you know for sure. And it's usually the top three guys that are that are the real deal.
Hey, bro, I like Jaden Daniels, bro, but how many other teams like Jaden Daniels? You know what I mean? That
Yeah,
are in front of us and that have more capital to give up, or that are more win now mode.
yeah, that would be crazy to see. Like, what if they? Yeah, we'll see. Like, what if they pass up? Because everyone has new. I think it's New England getting Jaden Daniels. If I forgot who's or was yeah New England trying to get Jaden Daniels on a couple of these mock drafts, but I don't know. It's gonna be hard to say, but I'm hoping. See that's the thing. If a quarterback falls to us at 13, then of course yes. But I feel like there's some good defensive players that we actually could use because if we don't get them, somebody else is gonna get them. And
Yeah,
there was a lot of players that like we did mock drafts for last year, and a lot of these players that we picked up, other players picked up, and these players started. You know what I mean? Like there was a lot of players that we could have got that could have been year one starters. They could have, been plug and play players because a lot of our players were either coming off injury, so they were delayed in starting, or they just weren't as good as we thought they were going to be. That we didn't get a lot of production out of our current draft class. Pretty much, like not a lot, but little splashes here and there, little splash plays, but there is, I don't know, there's opportunity to take these 9 picks and get better, to get really, 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 really better. And it's just adding to what we have. And it's, we've been pretty much staying pretty healthy for the most part. Last year, we didn't have a lot of catastrophic injuries or anything like that.
yeah.
Uh,
Jimmy G, we got Jimmy G hurt.
yeah,
Like he came in hurt. I don't care what
yeah,
anybody says.
yeah.
That didn't really count. That was another thing. My bad, Jason.
No,
Um,
no,
what
you're
do
good.
you think? What do we end up doing with Jimmy G?
Yeah, that's crazy too, because we got him pretty much on contract for all the money, but it's gonna hurt us, right? If we let him go.
Yeah,
So I mean, I feel like I guess he could back Aiden up, and then we got that other guy too, Anthony Brown. So I mean,
yeah, that's right. I forgot about him.
we got pretty cheap contracts that'll kind of hopefully balance that out. Like he'll be the most highest paid, backup, but who's I'm not trying to no how do I say this? Because I'm not saying that I'm in belief of Jimmy, but I'm kind of being honest that he was coming off the okay, because he was part of the McDaniels effect too. Because if we're gonna say that about Aiden being kind of held back by that, then can we say that about Jimmy too?
Yeah,
Like so I guess would you be okay with Aiden, Jimmy coming back, and Anthony Brown, and that being our three?
and we just go in the draft and get a bunch of beef. That'd be my ideal situation.
And
Uh,
kill
I,
and kill it and kill this
but
draft.
bro, I just I don't know. I don't think Jimmy G is reliable at all. Not even as a backup. Um,
Yeah.
bro, I got shit for this on Friday on the podcast. I wanted to get Joe Flacco. Hey, I'm on the phone. I'm gonna find it.
We got
Uh,
AR in the
AR in the
building.
building. Good to see you, bro.
Hell yeah, man. What's
What's going
going
on,
on?
Nate? It's been a minute. Jason, my
What's
man,
go
what's good, man? It's
what's
been a
going on?
longer minute since I've been on a panel
God,
with you. So, what's going on,
man.
my friend?
Good to have you on, man. Definitely. Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
was
been
about to crash out and I saw you were live. So, said hello in the chat, and he sent me the link. So here I am.
Man, appreciate you coming, man. Yeah, it's been a long time, man. I meant to send you one like earlier, but I've been doing kind of a lot of like last minute kind of put together. So, but I'm gonna definitely throw you back in the mix for sure.
It's all good, man.
For sure. How's it? In fact, how's everything been with you?
Trying to move these spots out the way.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I got you. Let me see. Bam, got you.
There I am.
There we go. Got to show the moneymaker. You know what I mean?
Show these fleshy teeth.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
sorry. What'd you say? What'd you say?
So me and Nate were talking about our hatred of the situation of the two teams that are playing in our stadium and the whole thing. So like, what are your takes on the matchup?
Could I care any less?
Exactly. Yeah, like if it wasn't money involved, I wouldn't, it'd just be like I want them both to lose. But but it's like I got money because I bet that bet Hefe KC that the Chiefs would not win the Super Bowl, and then it's a damn shame I got to depend on the damn Niners to win me some money and not have to pay KC. So
what if the Niners win? What do you get out of it?
Just 100. Oh, just 100. You know what I mean? But it's just the victory because it was like mid season. Yeah, exactly. It'd be food on Hefe.
Will he honor that bet?
That was what I said, AR.
like people from Kansas City. Well, I'm not gonna say all because we do have some Raider family in here too. You know what I mean? From that area too. So,
are you from Kansas?
No, not myself. No, I'm from Oakland.
Oh.
Yeah, but
just to say you said we.
Yeah. Oh well, because I believe I want to say Tony's from out there that way, close to.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to
yeah,
Tony,
that's
brother.
what I say. So there are great people out there, but just very few. Like just like Tony, man. But like, yeah, it sucks because I don't want to have to pay a KC fan. That's the last thing I want to definitely do. So, and I was just thinking that they would make it, and just like last year, they kind of shocked the world and kind of did it.
Well, let's do something about it, and hopefully we do it sooner rather than later, right?
Hell yeah! So we were just talking too about, would you be good with us keeping Aiden and rocking and just kind of building our roster? Getting a better, building this defense a little bit more, adding weapons. You know what I mean? Just kind of, or do you kind of want to? Are you in the trade up group? Are you in the stay put or trade back, or kind of where are you thinking?
I'm not sold on Aiden O'Connell being the guy moving forward. I do want us to bring some competition in one form or the other, whether it's free agency or whether it's a draft pick. Time will tell, but we're going to bring some competition regardless. Like you can bank on it, but that's not to say that he can't be the guy. I mean, he did well with all things considered. I mean, he wasn't supposed to be the guy last year. He was supposed to sit, and through circumstances, he did okay. But I've said it a few times. For me personally, I think it's about time we swing for the fences. We haven't swung for the fences, grabbing a quarterback specifically in the first round for a long time, since Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah.
So if we do that indeed, because there's a guy there that they believe in, and there's a few quarterbacks that have high draft stock in this year's draft. I haven't watched too much college football, so I can't really comment on who I like and who I don't like. You know what I mean? That's unfair for me to just hear what other people say and just go by the stats because I haven't even looked at either. So I hear Jaden Daniels has a connection with Antonio Pierce, and seems like he's the natural fit if we were to grab someone early. But look, I'd be with it if we did have to make a trade. Hopefully, it's not too much, but it's gonna cost the Kings ransom to trade up in that top 5 region. Where's Jaden Daniels? What's his draft stock like? Where's he expected to go?
All the mock drafts have him going to like either New England or
What number? I mean
Yeah.
specifically.
I know he's third quarterback in the because it goes Caleb Williams, Drake May, and then him.
So it's going to be 1, 2, 3 quarterback as it stands.
That's what they're saying. They don't know what Chicago's gonna do or whatever. But because
they'll probably trade out of there if they're not going to draft a quarterback, they will trade out of there. But I mean, I haven't heard too much about any other, I don't know, can't miss prospect that's from another position so far yet. Like, is there anybody that might shake up that top 5?
They're saying, I don't know if he'll break that top 5, but Spencer Rattler, they're kind of saying that he could rise up to a possible first round pick.
And what is he?
Quarterback from South Carolina, I think it is.
Did you say corner, secondary?
No, he's a quarterback from South Carolina.
Well, I'm talking about, is there anybody other than a quarterback that might shoot?
Marvin Harrison, they said could, because that's what I said. They said Chicago could take Marvin Harrison if they do.
And what is he, a wide receiver?
Yeah, wide receiver.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so that's about, and then because all the teams technically could use quarterbacks, the Justin Fields situation, we'll see kind of how that kind of shakes out before, and then that'll work itself out too. But I don't know. I think if they do trade, it's going to cost a lot. But the plus is we don't really do well with our first round picks anyway. So, to give up, say, this year's, next year's, and another one, I mean, what would be the difference? Like in how we've drafted, in our last, say, 10 to 15 years. Right. But we're getting something out of it that at least will give us, hopefully, our quarterback of the future, which our team isn't really that bad it's like if we had did that like last year or the year before, it would have crippled us. But we have a defense and we only need a couple pieces to make it happen. So if we could still keep our other picks beside, if we give up, say, our first round pick this year and then say our next 2 first round picks, next year and then next year, we still got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know what I mean? To try to make things happen and still where it won't cripple us enough where we can't still build our team.
What we talked about last year would have crippled us if we'd have traded up like Ziegler wanted to. We would have had CJ Stroud.
Yeah, would have, but we wouldn't have been able to. Well, we didn't know what our defense. You know what I mean? We didn't know that defense was going to shake out like that either. So,
and then again, like if we were successful, we might still be stuck with McDaniels, right?
That part too. That gives me the EBGBs. Yeah, so I guess at the end of the day, it shook out how it was supposed to shake out because we found our coach. We would have been stuck with McDaniels 2 more.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, but here we are. We got the guy the majority wanted. I mean, it was a minority that wanted that guy in the door in the first place, and it was even smaller of a minority that was happy with his job that he was doing up until that point. So,
I tried. Yeah, he lost me like it was because I tried, because he was a Raider. I tried to be supportive, tried to, like, okay, well, let's give him a chance. Let's, see what he does. And by the end of it, you're like, what the, when you see Mark Davis, like, what the hell are you doing? When he's asking, like, he's like, what is this dude doing? That's why I felt like we were not that bad because, we're losing these games. I'm like, we're not as bad as these games are making us to look, though. It's really not that, and it was just certain tweaks and certain things that we had to do, and we weren't playing the right people. And when AP came in, he put in Aiden, he got Jack Jones, he's benched Marcus Peters. It was just little stuff like that, like little different things that someone had the balls to do. It's like everyone wants to kind of tiptoe around contracts and egos and all this kind of stuff. But man, you got to do what you got to do for the best of the team. It's not about an individual. It's about the team at the end of the day.
Yeah, right. And who knew what good leadership can accomplish, right? I mean, the team was night and day within the space of like the week that he was fired. You know what I mean? Like not just like the players all dancing and singing and laughing in the in the locker room, but also remember the beatdown we gave the Giants the week of his firing. I mean,
yeah.
But speaking of Antonio Pierce, you just said he brought in Jack Jones. Did you hear about what he did an interview? I can't remember who it was with, but he was talking about how when he was going into bat for Jack Jones, he went to Mark Davis and he said, "Look, we need to get this guy, and if it doesn't work out, I'm willing to bet that I'm willing to give him my seal of approval to the point where if it doesn't work out, you can fire us both." Like, that's how confident that this is a guy we need. Mm-hmm. And look how that turned out.
And how rare.
Have you seen it?
Oh, no, but that was definitely a great story too. And I talked about it like a little bit yesterday. And it's so crazy because when we bring players in like that, especially in that kind of case, does it ever work out for us? You know what I mean?
Well, back in the glory days, remember in the 80s and in the 70s, that's kind of how we built our reputation, by taking that's how we garnered the kind of Raider mystique. Like, we were the outcasts, the bad guys. We were bringing these guys in that not necessarily fit the mold of what other teams saw as, like, you know, the establishment or whatever it may be, or troubled history, and they were able to turn them around. But in recent history, you're right, for the most part, it hasn't really panned out. But in Jack Jones's case, so far so good. I really like what I mean. I'm not alone. I mean, there's not one Raider fan that doesn't love what they saw from him within the space of, he was only with us how many games? 6, 7 games?
Yeah, and I think that was his second game, because I think the first game was kind of a feel-out game, and then that second game and that third game, he had back-to-back pick sixes. Like, it was
right. You know? I mean, he was making some of the best plays I'd ever seen in my time as a Raider fan. I mean, you know, if he's willing to, if he can do that within being with the team like only a couple of weeks, then I don't know, man. Like, my confidence in Jack Jones to be that dude, that I've said it how many times? Like, we've been looking for a lockdown, shutdown corner since Nnamdi left the door. And I truly believe in my heart we found him with Jack Jones. It's just a case of keeping your off the field issues in check, because that's apparently what had given him a bit of trouble, you know, before. But, like, there's no better situation for Jack Jones to thrive than under Antonio Pierce, and as well as, like, the fan base. We all believe in Jack Jones. We all love Jack Jones, and I think he feeds off that. I don't think he had that love before with the Patriots, and it seems like it's just such a, much like Antonio Pierce being our head coach, Jack Jones is the perfect fit for us to be that next great cornerback that we've been looking for the longest time.
You know, that interception he had against Mahomes? Mahomes saw that all week long. He still thinks about that to this day, you know, because, like, that was his last loss was to us, you know, and it's like, that's the dirty taste that we left in his mouth. And thanks to Jack Jones for, you know what I mean, just because that's what it was. Like, how they were like our big brother, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it was finally where you get to whip your big brother, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it was kind of just to make a statement that we are here. We are we are going to be here for a while now. So you're going to have to deal with this and some. So can't wait to see how we stack this team.
And another,
my bad here. Jack Jones was supposed to be Marcus Peters was supposed to be what Jack Jones was supposed to be to us when we signed him. He was supposed to be that kind of ball hawk, take risk on the ball, and he could kind of predict what the quarterback's going to do. And Jack Jones came in there and displayed all those talents right away. So, Jack Jones, he's a shit.
And he's still like, this is only his second year in the league, right?
Yep.
So he's not even like, he's still like a baby. He's not even scratched the surface of his potential, and that's such a really great thought to have in the back of our minds, that, like, give it in another year or 2 years, if he keeps trending the way he's trending, like, it's scary, his ceiling, like, scary in a good way, you know what I mean? Exactly. But, like, another thing that I think, another play, I guess, that gets overshadowed, like, by those 2 interceptions that went for a touchdown, and rightly so, but, like, Can you guys remind me who it was against? It was a late game, either the last game of the season against the Broncos or the second last. You remember that play where Amik Robertson was burnt toast, and the quarterback saw the wide receiver burning Amik and went to throw deep, and he would have connected like 5 meters out from the touchdown line had it not been for Jack Jones. If you see on the, that all 22 kind of thing. What's that thing where you can see like the whole kind of
all 22?
Yeah, like you can see Jack Jones saw it, and he came off. He was on the other side of the field, came off his assignment, sprinted to where the ball was being thrown because Amik had just been left behind, and he did that swat and just went. He jumped up in the air, much like Amik did when he got that touchdown.
I think Chargers, if I'm not mistaken. I think
could have been the I don't think it was the Chargers. I think it might have been. But if it was a Chargers, whatever. But do you remember the play I'm talking about? Where
I think
he jumped up much like Amik did on that interception and then swatted the ball out of the air, much like.
That was okay. Yeah, you're right. That was like
Wesley Snipes. White man can't jump. Get that shit up out of here.
That was like either the second to last or was that the last game? I feel like that was the last game.
Yeah, it was
that the was that the Broncos?
It could have been, but it's just. For me, like it just goes to show his instincts and just that will to win. To, these are things you can't teach players. Like just that
instincts. That's the good
instinct, and to be able to get there and make a play. Because, like I said, he was on the other side, assigned to somebody else, and he saw Amik getting burnt and just came out of nowhere to make the play. And for me, that just it flashes greatness, and I have so much faith in Jack Jones. Like from what I saw, I'm excited to see how his Raider career turns out.
All right. All right, guys. Just giving a fair warning. We have an enemy in the in our presence. We have a other sider, but
hello.
This is a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Pre-game, so. You got Coach Vic in the building, man. What's going on,
good, bro?
My bad, bro. I woke up early. It was we were celebrating that win earlier. I had a lot of tequila last night. Even though I told you I wasn't gonna have tequila, I had it anyway.
See, I tell you that tequila.
You see.
So what did you say? What was your name?
What it is, man.
Oh, this is Coach Vic.
Hold on. First,
hello, Coach Vic.
Hey,
how you doing?
I really just came in to step in for a second. Like I told you last week, a friend of a friend is an enemy, so I need all my Raider Nation to support us because y'all rather us winning the Chiefs anyway. So go on ahead and support us today.
This is a very delicate situation here, man. It's
you can technically do what I would do and not want anyone to win.
Yeah.
But if you got to pick, I'd rather you guys see the Bay Area win than Patrick Mahomes, right?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I'm out here in the Bay, and so it's either way for me because if they lose, I get to see the sad faces. If they win, it's a celebration for the Bay. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, so it could go either way for me. But I don't want KC to win because I have money on the line. So it just sucks. It has to be you guys to get me this money. But hey, however the money comes, man, we take it.
I mean, hey, even though even though you guys are in Vegas, it's still Cali Vegas. You know what I mean? Because every Californian cat moved to Vegas anyway. So we still in the same barrier boat. You know what I mean? At this point,
you got to get that SF taken off and then make it SC. Be honest. Be true.
I got to be honest, like, because I'm from Australia. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, being a Raider fan, obviously, like, Raiders is my team, and 49ers are our natural enemies, right? Yeah. But like, I don't have that same hatred because I'm not from the Bay as I do for the Chiefs. I cannot stand them. You know what I mean? And it, like, as much as I dislike the Niners, I loathe the Chiefs. So I'm not going to watch this game, honestly. But like, if I was to say who would I settle for winning rather than the other, I'd say the Niners.
Yeah, because we'll have to console you guys, like, you know what I mean, when you guys come back here all sad, and you know what I'm saying, and we remember.
But who was you? You know what I mean. My thing is, I'd 100% get it because I don't care. Once the 49ers get eliminated, if they would have got eliminated, I want everybody to lose. No one should win. It should be like vacant for 1 year. No Super Bowl for 1 year. But just in the conversation's sake, like, if I had if I had one situation where I had to pick my division rival and then just a person who lives across the street, I want the division rivals to go because I got to see them 2 times a year raising that trophy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So if it was like us and the Rams playing, you
Oh,
know what I'm saying?
death to the Rams. I'm a Raider fan for the day.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, you better than me.
So
Hey, but yeah, because it is a tough situation, and hopefully, all right, and that's the ball game.
I think
Yeah.
I think I think we despise the Niner fans a little more because of what happened with the Oakland situation and how we
Mhm.
got kind of bullied out of the Bay Area. So we're a little more bitter than the Niner fans would be if we were to play one of their rivals. I get what he's saying though. I understand, but if you're
Yeah.
if you're a Bay Area Raider fan, this ain't okay with you.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I work in San Francisco. I work with some good. There's some good people I work with. You know what I'm saying? And they just happen to be Niner fans, and it's like they're pumped up, they're excited, and like I say, it's kind of both. Because either way, I'll find a way to have some satisfaction out of this situation. Because like I said, if they lose, I get to see the sad faces when I go to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Knowing that they didn't get it done. You know what I mean? And it's like, but if they do, I mean, I'd rather the trophy be out here in California than to be out in KC. So
the other thing for me is that here in Australia, there's not too many bandwagon Niner fans. Like I know 2 friends personally who are loyal, passionate Niner fans, and they've been that way since I've known them, even during their thin periods. You know what I mean? So I can respect that. However, on the flip side of the coin, there's all these Johnny come lately Chief fans that all of a sudden they're, yay, go Chiefs, yeah,
Go
Chiefs,
Swifty.
woo. Okay, yeah, Chiefs, go Chiefs, right? Okay, name 2 quarterbacks that played for the Chiefs before Patrick Mahomes. Oh, yeah, about that. Oh, I don't know. Go Chiefs. Yeah, all right.
yeah.
Shit, I'm a Raider fan, and even I can name 2: Alex Smith and freaking Matt Castle.
Hey, Rich Gannon. You know what I'm saying?
Elvis
Like,
Gerbeck. Remember
man.
Elvis Gerbeck?
Hey, after you left the Niners.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, but fellas, thank you, Jason, for having me on. I gotta get back. My son's kind of acting a
Take
fool
care,
right
Nate.
now. Yeah,
For
good to
sure.
see you, AR. Always
For
appreciate
sure.
you guys.
Yeah,
Hey, let's
good
go
to see you,
Raiders.
Nate. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's because it's crazy because a lot of people hate it's I only really I mean I don't get me wrong, I don't like them, but it's only hyped up when we play that year. You know what I mean? Like when I know we're gonna play that year, like even the preseason, like it's always
You're
shit
talking about the
talk.
Niners.
Yeah, like it's always shit talking because like I said, I have a lot of friends that are in San Francisco too, and it's me being one of the few Raider fans out here. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Right.
like it's constant shit talking, constant competition. It's every game matters, no matter if it's preseason, if it's a season. So it's always going to be competition. But
Yeah.
I
So can you see my
hate
dynamic?
KC. Like I hate KC. Like it. I really don't like none of our rivals. You know what I mean? But it's like KC has
Right.
been a thorn in our side. Like it has been consistent. And it's like, when will it stop? That's where it's like, we're trying to stop the bleeding. So
If there's a tier list for teams that you hate, then Chiefs would be at the top.
Chiefs would definitely be at the top. Chiefs.
Right.
I don't like the Cowboys. It sucks. My brother's a Cowboy fan too. And like, I don't know, but that's all. It was good to beat them a couple years ago too. But it's just one of those things. Like it's just teams. Like I'm a underdog type. You know what I mean? Me and Nate were talking about that earlier. Like I don't like the favorites, and I don't do the favorites, man. I do the team that showed me love from the very beginning, and
Right.
that's what it is.
Yeah. There's teams I don't mind or don't dislike so much. You know what I mean? Like the Lions or the Browns. Like I don't dislike them the way I dislike, our natural enemies like the Chiefs and the Broncos and the Chargers. Those are my 3 teams with a bullet. I used to hate the Chargers the most when I first started being a Raider fan because at that time the Chargers were the best team in our division, and they were just
You talking about
so
the L
dominant
the
for a while.
LT years?
LT,
Yeah. Oh, I hated
Vincent
that.
Jackson. Who's their tight end?
We had that Vincent Jackson.
Vincent
They had
Jackson. Yeah.
what's his name? Gates, Antonio Gates.
Antonio Gates. Yeah.
Philip.
Jeremy Sayal. What was it?
Oh yeah, Junior Seau.
Junior
Yeah,
Sayal. Like
oh,
they were a really good team.
Lights Out, Merriman, all that. Remember the Phillips? They had. I hated that
Phillip
whole.
Rivers.
Yeah, Philip
Yeah.
Rivers.
Darren Sproles was a Charger for a little
Oh
while.
yeah, him too.
Right.
Because I think after LT faded out, it was him and that guy from Fresno State. Ryan, what was it? Ryan something? I forget, but he got injured like early in his career, but he was pretty much after that time of LT. Ryan, I forget his name, but yeah, he was a running back for the Chargers, but he got injured, and then I think it was Sproles for a little bit, and then they tried some other things, but yeah.
But they were really good around that time. Like when I first started watching football, even before I started watching Raider football in 2009, like I remember one of the first games I watched was they were in the what's the game before the Super Bowl? Like
Pro Bowl.
No, not the Pro Bowl. Like is it the conference championship?
Oh
game
yeah, the conference title or the conference champions,
something like that. Whatever. Like they were right in. They were deep in the playoffs, and like just those first few years where they were so dominant. And Phillip Rivers, I hate that guy, but you gotta respect him. You know what I mean? Like he was really good, and I hated his greatness because he was always he was really good around that time.
He was
and
chatty.
He's
oh boy. Hey, I would love to put a hit on him. Like,
do you remember that play? I can't. I think it was 2018 or 2019 where they were beating us, and on the last drive of the game, he called an audible, and it was ha ha ha. Look at the defense, ha ha. Do you remember that?
Oh, not off top, but
well, it goes to show. Like I never forgot that. Like he was trolling us, and you could hear him on the mic. That's what he said. Like ha ha. Look at the lame defense, ha ha ha. You know what I mean? Like it was just like. I hate that guy.
Yeah, like
I hate that guy.
It's funny because when you say that, when you think of that team, because I could not stand LT. I hated LT with a passion,
right?
And just like it felt like he hated us too, because he would score at least 3 touchdowns a game. You know what I mean? It would just be like, what did somebody stop this dude? Like, and it was just like he was able to do it all. Like, but out of respect, one of my top. I'd say like at least top 7 part of the top 7 running backs, just because what he was able to do, like catching, throwing,
right?
You know what I mean, like passing. Like I've seen him do it all on us, and it was so crazy. And I hated that team. And
well, he's a Hall of Famer, isn't he?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. So yeah,
there's not that many running back Hall of Famers in the last like 3 decades, and he is one of them. So I think by the time I started watching Raider football consistently, I think that was kind of the downturn of his career. Like he wasn't quite the all-time great that he was in those early to late 2000s. But you know, I do know that he was like he's a Hall of Fame for a reason, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like we played against him. Like if you remember that era, I know you remember the Terrell Davis, Denver Bronco era too. That was the Denver. I think that was the Denver Bronco team that I did not like, with Rod Smith, Shannon Sharp, Terrell Davis.
I know the names, but that was before my time.
Oh yeah, Elway, that whole Elway team, that Super Bowl. I think it was like the 2000s.
That was the late 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah, like, oh, yeah, you're right. It was 98, like 98, 97, 99.
Yeah, late 90s.
Like those years of Denver, I couldn't stand with that mile-high salute. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, every time they score, they do that stupid-ass salute. Right. But yeah, and then I remember the KC team that I didn't like was, like, the Priest Holmes era. Oh, Priest Holmes era and this the Tyreek Hill era of KC and
Right.
all that. Like, oh, I couldn't stand that
Well,
squad.
it's only been like of late where the Chiefs have shot up to the top because of, you know, they've been so good lately, and like I highlighted, like I was just talking. Shout out to my guy on Six, because I shared with him a photo of the last time I went to watch the Super Bowl in full. And shout out to you, Tony. Good, congratulations for winning your ticket yesterday. The last time I watched the Super Bowl in full, because I the last few years I couldn't give a crap for obvious reasons, and I've maybe watched a couple of snaps, but if the Raiders aren't playing, I don't give a shit. But the last time I went and watched the game from first snap to the last was the 2015 Super Bowl between the Panthers and the Broncos.
Bro, that's so crazy. That's so crazy. As you were about to say that, sorry to cut you off. I was just thinking that the last one was the one with Cam, because I remember because I was going against the Broncos. I was like, man,
me too.
Cam, get it. That's so crazy because that's the last one for me too. That's so crazy.
And the Panthers are another team that falls in that category. Like I you know, it's Raiders before everything, but like they're a team that I don't despise. Like, so if they're going against the Broncos, then, you know, yeah, of course, like I was hoping that by default that they would win that game. But like, just to make the playoffs kind of semi-interesting that season, because the Raiders were out of it, I put I think it was like $200 for the Panthers to win the Super Bowl, and it was paying like 8-1, so $8 for every dollar that I put on. So it was a substantial amount of money, and they made it all the way to the Super Bowl. And then just before the game, I had an option to either cash out my winnings now or play for the win, right? So I don't know. I was just like, well, I have a bad feeling about this game, and I've already like tripled my money. You know, if I cashed out then, it was like $600. If they won the game, it would have been like 10, like $1,000 or whatever it was. So I'd already made money if I just took the money now and ran. So I did that. I was just like, yeah, I'll take the money now. Thank you very much. Sweet, you know. But anyways, like when I went to the game, I went to this bar and I was the only one wearing Raider gear. Only guy in a packed bar wearing the Raider colors loudly and proudly, might I add. And it was a sea of orange. There was all these orange most of them were Peyton Manning jerseys, some Von Miller jerseys, but enough to make me want to vomit in my mouth, right?
Right. Hell yeah.
Anyways, fast forward to 2022, like 2 years ago. I got a new job, and I got an invite from one of my work colleagues. He's like, "Do you want to come meet like your new co-workers? We're going to the bar to watch the game, the same bar I went to watch that Super Bowl back in 2015." I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not? I'll come down." I didn't give a shit about the game. I watched 1 or 2 snaps, but I was too busy talking to my fellow co-workers. But I went there naturally in my Raider gear, you know, got to rep the colors. And when I got there, it was a sea of all these Kansas City jerseys, just enough to, again, make me want to puke.
Yeah.
I did not see one orange jersey. Not one. And I was just like, you know, it's probably these same, like, diehard Bronco fans back in 2015 who switched their allegiances over to the Chiefs all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? So
the bandwagons.
Cannot stand. If there's one thing, one of my pet peeves in life is fair weatherness, and that goes hand in hand with, you know, bandwagon fans. You know what I mean? Like, you're only here for the good times. You know, you weren't there for the struggle. You weren't there. Like I said, I asked these cats, like, name 2 quarterbacks before Patrick Mahomes. I don't know. It's like, tell me you're a bandwagon fan without telling me you're a bandwagon fan.
Exactly.
Like, I can respect it as much as I don't like your team. If you know your history and if you're around the struggle, cool, I get it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, these fans that just come around just because they're on top, and then when the struggle happens, nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, all my teams are very humble teams. We have the Raiders, we have the Warriors, which recently have had success, but like I remember the rough days, you know what I mean. And then the Cal Berkeley Bears, you know what I mean. Like it's that's how you can tell my character, like the type of person I am. I'm a loyal person. Like you know what I mean. I love my squads. We don't do that well at times, but we still rocking. Still rocking
I,
because one
I have
one day.
another funny story since you brought up the Warriors.
Yeah.
So I was having a chat with this guy about a couple of years back. This is when I think the Warriors had they either won the championship or made it to they're right in the middle of their
Mhm.
like dynasty run. But anyways, this guy started talking about NBA and how the Warriors were his favorite team. He just kept talking about Warriors this, Warriors that, and I was like, yeah, I dropped off basketball, but like when I was back in the '90s, in the basketball card game days, like I really liked their team then. Guys like Latrell Sprewell and Chris Webber, and the guy just looked at me like, What? I'm like, Chris Webber, Latrell Sprewell, um, Mullins. What was his name? Chris Mullins.
Chris Mullin. Yeah.
Chris Mullins, and he just
Gatling.
like,
Chris
like
Gatling.
you don't know these guys, do you?
Yes.
Come on, man. You're a diehard fan. You don't even know these cats who were big names in the '90s. Come on.
Yeah. It was crazy. Like we got there was the whole Baron Davis. The We Believe years, right? That was kind of like the start of actually us starting to win some games. Like we were actually starting to kind of put it together. It kind of feels like this period of the Raider ball because it was kind of like that was the first eye opening. Like, okay, we might have something here. You know what I mean? Because like the Baron Davis
Right.
years, and we had a pretty good team, and this was before we got Curry and all this kind of stuff. So I think that we're on that same kind of path to that championship like that team was. And then this was kind of like oh shit, we might have a defense. You know what I mean? So we finally found that chemistry. Yeah, it sucks, man. I remember some just tough. Like we used to be. It was always like the fourth quarter would always be just our worst quarter of like Warrior basketball. We would be in the game, and then fourth quarter we would just suck, and it
Screw
just
the
and that would be it because like the Warrior faithful back in Oakland was like the Raider faithful in Oakland. We're there to the very end until it's over until they kick us out the stadium, and it's like we got we got rewarded, man, for our dedication just by with Steph Curry and what they were able to do, for the Bay Area. Like they got us through some dark Raider times. You know what I mean? Like just being out there. And at that time, football wasn't too good for us, but they kind of carried us through, I guess, the hard times. And I guess maybe the Giants did that for this city, for San Francisco, while they were going through their struggles. So it's just been crazy. And like how I see it, the Warriors are kind of not what they were. Hopefully they can still, turn it around and stuff like that. But, in all honesty, it looks like they're about to break this team up and stuff like that. So it's gonna be, I think, the Raiders that carry the rest now. Now the Warriors did their job in carrying, what I mean, the Bay for a little bit. So now the Raiders are coming into their own. So hopefully we have a lot of competitive Raider football coming, for years to come.
Facts. Couldn't agree with you more. I
Man.
look forward to free agency, see what we do,
Yeah.
and the draft. That's for me is my favorite time of the year. It's like my better than my Christmas and my birthday. Like it's just like you're getting these gifts that you don't know what you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? I love it.
When you said that, I just got butterflies just thinking about you said like Christmas, and I was just like, oh.
Only a couple of
Yeah.
months.
Yeah. Like so, who? Okay, so give me three free agents you would bring in. Like, doesn't matter position, just your top three free agents that you would like to bring in that you think would help this team.
I don't know.
All
I
right,
don't know any
hey,
free agents.
oh, I was gonna say, give me one. Okay, quarterback. Any free agent quarterback. You got Baker Mayfield. You got the Kirk
All right,
Cousins. You got
that's the one position I kind of know who's the who's on the market. Kirk Cousins would be the name, I guess. There have been talks about trading for Justin Fields. I mean, if that happens, I don't really want to give up big capital for the guy. I mean, it's always a red flag for me, much like when we got Jimmy Garoppolo. It's like, well, he couldn't get it done with a bad team. Like, well, granted they were bad, but like it seemed like a guy that that I just have shades of that Badgent guy coming in, and it's like, well, if he could get it done, why couldn't Fields get it done? And this is the guy we want to bank our future on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a bit of a red flag for me. You know what I mean? But Kirk Cousins, I know he has a degree of success, and in the right scenario, could be a guy who could take us to the playoffs or maybe even deeper. For me, like, I don't see Kirk Cousins as being like. I mean, for me, he's already reached his. He's either in his prime or on the downturn of his prime, because he's been in the league for a little while, since when the Redskins drafted him. Do you remember that they drafted RG3?
Yeah,
and then Kirk Cousins later, and everyone was scratching their heads, but it actually turned out because RG3 went down injured in that playoff game, and it pretty much derailed his career. Well, not pretty much, but it did.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kirk Cousins, I mean, like, he for me is like, if you were to have a tier list of quarterbacks, he'd be like in a tier maybe above Derek Carr, but not in that all elite kind of class.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a good / very good, not great, not like your all elite like a Patty Mahomes or Lamar Jackson kind of guys. So
you said
good enough, you know what I mean?
Like B tier kind of
like a B tier kind of quarterback. Yeah, that's a B tier kind of guy.
I can see that, and I think it would be kind of better than what we have currently with Aiden. In all honesty, it would definitely be better than. But the thing is, him coming off that Achilles, like, because it's like pretty much the same thing as Jimmy, kind of. Because I don't know how strong Kurt's arm is. I haven't watched enough of his games to kind of, because I know he has Justin Jefferson and stuff like that, and yeah. So I would kind of. How do you feel about the Baker Mayfield thing?
I would like that and entertain that being what he done this year, but you got to look at it for what it is. I mean, he was on a 1 year prove it kind of cheap deal, and he proved it and then some. Yeah. So there's no way they're going to let him walk.
Yeah, I could see them definitely keeping him.
He's not going anywhere. That's why I didn't entertain the thought of Baker Mayfield, because why would it think about it? It's like, why would a team bring in a quarterback and he's exceeded your expectations and you're not going to retain him?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not going to happen. He's going to be a Buccaneer, and rightfully so. He earned it. So yeah, I don't see it happening.
I know you probably heard the Devontae, possibly getting, the rumors, whatever, of him getting traded to the Jets, possibly. The whispers. Yeah, like, I don't know. It's either way, I think, because, I mean, if someone wants to take on that contract, that would definitely help us out financially, in the future. But then again, we're going to have to replace him. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just an endless cycle. But I think if we add pieces with him, because I definitely want to add another wide receiver too, like, just because, we got Jacoby, we got Devontae, and then after that, it kind of falls off. We got Tucker kind of up and coming. Hopefully he can take that step forward too, but we definitely need another legit wide receiver too.
Right. I don't, sorry, keep it.
Oh, no, I was just saying, because, like, we play KC, we play these teams that are going to be passing the ball a lot, and we got to, we didn't do a lot of 3 wide receiver sets for, where there was multiple options due to our needs to kind of keep extra players in to block. Like, we had extra tackles in, extra tight ends and stuff like that, and we only had maybe Jacoby and Hooper and Devontae going out, so it's like, I want to see us spread the field a little bit more, like, just have us, more weapons.
Right. And having Devontae out there is only going to make that spread more effective, being that he is one of the better wide receivers in the game. And the way I see it is like this. I mean, I think Devontae had a lot of stroke in the fact that we retained Antonio Pierce. And I also think he had a lot of stroke in the fact that we hired that Getsy guy.
Yeah.
I think it was him who went into bat for Getsy to come over to us. So what does that say? Does that scream to you a guy that's
gonna get traded?
Wants to get traded or is gonna get traded?
Yeah, no. it's that is actually great point.
Connect the dots. I don't think he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, like I hope we keep, because that's the thing we've seen. I know we've had good things, and we've broke the team down, going different directions, and every time it seems like we started all over again. So hopefully we keep the pieces, and we add pieces that'll keep this team competing. Like, I don't know what Bennett's gonna be. Like, I definitely want us to get another corner to help out Nate and Jack Jones. Like, I feel like, I hope, because at the end of the day, if he does develop and he does quickly, have a good second year, then we're good. We're good right there. Because if we can bring Nate back, I mean, sorry, not Nate, but Amik. If we could bring Amik back, because I mean, at the very least, that's good depth. You know what I mean? Like, at the very, very least, and he's made enough plays for us to keep him around. And it's like a good chemistry. It's been DBs that have been around each other long enough. Him and Nate have been, with each other the whole career. So, just adding somebody else that can just, continue to, because we definitely play in a division that puts up points.
Well, that's the beauty of having Antonio Pierce back, is that like all these guys went into bat for him, and all these guys want to play for him. And Amik I think he's an unrestricted free agent. Like, there's no 5th-year option for draft picks outside the first round, right?
I don't think so.
No. So I believe he's an unrestricted free agent, but I can see that he wants to be here. I believe I've heard on a podcast he spoke rave reviews about Antonio Pierce and how he loves playing for him, and that's the thing, is that like what's going to be beautiful about free agency as well is that players, they're going to want to come here. I mean, think about last season's free agency. How many former Patriots were we getting? And it seemed to me, like, granted, like, results were mixed. Like, some of these guys actually panned out, like Jacoby Myers. He did his thing. Jack Jones, he was brought in by Antonio Pierce, but was there any other former Patriots that came in and did their thing? Am I missing anyone?
We could say what's his name? The fullback, Jacob. He was okay. This year, not so much, but
we released him, and then we re-signed
we brought him back. I was thinking, that was crazy too, because we were all saying, "Oh, well, maybe we're going away from the fullbacks," right. And and then we can bring
that was
him
a
back.
Head scratcher. But anyways, like
Nesta Jade, kind of the same thing too. Like we let him go and then end up bringing him back.
Right, but back to what I was making a point about is just like, we were signing all these former guys under his former tree, the Patriot tree, because it just screamed to me that like nobody wanted to come here. Nobody wanted to play for McDaniels because he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's going to be the complete 180 opposite this year. Like, these young cats, they especially guys who are young and gung-ho and they're full of energy. Like, they want someone who's going to inspire them.
Yeah.
Not a fucking square like McDaniels, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And Antonio Pierce is that guy. They see that passion, that fire that he brings, and that just like, he's like that kind of guys, like, I'll lead and you follow, and they're going to do it. So free agency is definitely going to be a lot more exciting for me than it had been for the last 2 seasons. And then the draft. But you were talking about Ja'Cory and Bennett. Like, well, the emergence of Jack Jones has kind of eased the pressure for Bennett. Like, we were grooming him to hopefully be that outside guy to be taken under Marcus Peters' wing, because Nate Hobbs, we switched him back to nickel. That money backer position, and that's a position he thrives in. For me personally, I really like what he does there. and we were hoping Corey Bennett could seal up that outside job, but to mixed results. I mean, sometimes he did okay, sometimes he did lose reps towards like the later half of last season. But he has time to develop. I mean, if it doesn't pan out, like what's that, a fifth round investment? Like, it's not
No, because Aiden was the fourth. Yeah, I think it was fifth.
fourth or fifth, whatever it may be. It's
Yeah.
it's not a disaster if he doesn't pan out. But like, he does have the intangibles, and like he's like I said, the emergence of Jack Jones has eased the pressure of Jacorian Bennett to be anything more than just a depth guy or someone who can step in and try and make a play or two. You know what I mean?
I think I asked you already what you're doing at 13. What do you it's like say if we
didn't trade.
Yeah, if we don't trade up for a quarterback, what do you do at 13?
Because the only reason we're trading up is for a quarterback. We're not trading up for anything else, right?
Yes.
Well, look, I don't know the candidates around that. I usually start to get to know the names after the combine, and then I start to do a little bit of research. The time I start to do extensive research is when I see the guys that we got. You know what I mean? Then I'll be like, right, this is who we have. Then I'm going to go back and watch not just their highlight film, because I've said it. I've said the same spiel a few times. Like, for me, a highlight film, every player is going to look like the next big thing. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see, like, say we drafted, say last year, Tyree Wilson. I want to see what he does in his games against power schools. You know, I want to see the whole game, see what he does. You know what I mean? And give him a fair shake there, like, or give him a kind of give that pick a judgment then. But as for what I would do, like, I'd probably look in like interior defensive tackle, maybe. I don't know what they want to do with Tyree, if they want to switch him back to defensive end or they want to keep him at interior. But it's definitely a position we haven't. We've tried so many times with the draft, and we just haven't got a guy that we can just unequivocally say, yes, he's a guy we can build around. You know what I mean? Yeah, defensive tackle or what's the other needs? I'd go interior. I mean, the other positions, like, say, we could use another true linebacker. We could use another running back. We could use another lineman, like an interior guy. But interior, I think, like around that 3 to 5 range is a good range to pick someone in the interior. I mean, we've gotten guys like Gabe Jackson, Dylan Parham in the mid rounds. You know what I'm saying? So that for me is a good region there to find somebody. So I don't see it unless there's like a start in the first round or two. And linebacker too. I mean, like, we're okay at linebacker with Robert Spillane and Devon Diablo, but outside of that, we got Luke Masterson, who's my guy, as a depth guy. But I think we could use another linebacker, like a true linebacker, not a hybrid kind of guy, just like a linebacker who's played his college career at linebacker, made his bones at linebacker, been productive at linebacker, not a safety we're trying to turn into a linebacker. I mean, we've already got that guy in Devon Diablo, and even Luke Masterson. He's another guy who transitions. So just another true linebacker that we could have that could sit behind Spillane.
I agree. Like, I definitely, because we've been screaming for a linebacker for the last couple years. Hopefully, what's his name, Darius Butler. Hopefully he can, because I know he got injured last year? Was this year?
Yeah, he didn't play a snap this year.
Yeah, like, so I hope.
But we drafted that cat, Amari Burnett. Well, there's another project kind of coverage kind of linebacker. You know what I mean? Like,
and we didn't see much. Yeah, we didn't see much.
He's a project guy. I didn't expect to see much of anything. He played a few games, I believe. He played some snaps when Spillane was out. Was that the Giants game, maybe, or the game after the Jets game? We were pretty thin. Remember, we signed that other guy, Jalen Strong. What is that his name?
Oh, I remember.
We brought him in, and we cut him.
for like a game. It was like or for like a game or two or
We were
something like
pretty
that.
thin at linebacker for a minute. You
Oh,
know what I
that's
mean?
right.
So
The guy from Kansas City. The
the
guy
guy
was
used to be a cowboy who was a
oh
good cowboy, and then he got
oh
injured.
Jalen Smith. No, not
Smith,
Jalen Smith.
Brown, Strong,
Yeah, something like that. It's like a 5 letter.
whatever. Jalen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jalen
yeah,
something. Yeah, and
yeah.
then
Jalen.
remember we signed the linebacker too from Kansas City. He was supposed to be this, and then we ended up cutting him too. This was I want to say, was that before the season started?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because everyone was like, "Oh yeah, he's supposed to be a good cover backer and stuff like that." And then
Right.
cut him. Yep.
Yeah. Kind of flamed out like Duke Shelley, right?
Yeah. Duke Shelley.
I had hopes for him, but
Yeah.
not to be.
Yeah.
But we got pieces on the defense that are showed potential. I mean, there's a reason why we were a lot better than what a lot of us, including myself, expected. Adam Butler's another reason for that. Tony Shepard's,
Yeah.
He's a guy who emerged last season, but like, as much as I like him and I think he does well enough, like he's not like he's that dude on the interior we've been looking for that we can say can lock down that spot for years to come. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just been disappointing because we've tried through the draft how many times now. I mean, I'll give you some names. I mean, we all know about the 4 cats we drafted in the last 2 years: Nesta Silvera, Byron Young,
Butler,
Matthew Butler, and Neil Farrell.
Yeah,
and then before that was Eddie Vanderdozen, Jihad Ward, PJ Hall. Was it Maurice Hurst, who was good for a minute? He was decent.
At least we got a draft pick out of him. A trade,
right? And we drafted him late, but you could even throw maybe Tyree Wilson in there because now he's playing a lot of DT. But just look at those names.
I think Tyree bounces.
Sorry, state of affairs.
I think Tyree Wilson bounces back this next year. I think he really does. I think with a full off season, and you know what I mean. I really see that kid doing something like. So it's going to be interesting to see where they put him.
Right. I was willing to give it as disappointed and maybe as critical as I was with Tyree Wilson with his first year. Very underwhelming for a top 7 pick, whatever way you want to cook it and cut it, to get that as much production out of what we got from him. And I've said it a few times. It's a scary thought that like he had a less productive first year than the likes of Cleve Farrell and even to a point Arden Key.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a scary thought because we all know how they panned out for us specifically, right? Yeah. But like still concessions, right? He came in injured. We kind of rushed him back because of what happened with Chandler Jones. Yeah. Thank Christ Malcolm Kuntz has emerged. But like your second year in Salute Milkabeezy, I see in the feed. I want to see some progress. I want to see him giving us some things to be hopeful with his future. I'm not going to give him as many concessions as I did in his first season, and I didn't give him that much. Like I was pretty critical of him, but year 2, I'm not asking him to light the house on fire, but at the same time, I want to see him be a decent player, and to give us hope that he can be a good player. If he can be a good player by year 2, fantastic. But the same thing I said about Cleve Farrell, I'm going to say about Tyree Wilson. You don't pick in the top 7, top 3, whatever it may be, for a rotational guy, someone who's decent. You draft there for someone who's going to be hopefully a centerpiece of that, whatever side of the ball you're on. Specifically, he's on the defensive side of the ball. So he needs to be a centerpiece of the defense. Hopefully a good player. You know what I'm saying? Can't just be like a Cleve Farrell who was decent. But that's not what you draft in the top 10 for. Exactly. You want a bona fide good starter. Any less is not good enough.
Yeah, and I 100% agree because think about all of our draft picks. How many were starters?
Josh Jacobs.
No. I mean from this year's draft.
Oh yeah, right. Are you talking about like with other teams?
Yeah, no, from for like this year's draft from so who was our first draft this Tyree Wilson.
Right. So you're saying how many of our team were starters? Well, Michael Mayer was like a, you know,
He was
he
about,
was
I want to say he was about the closest to
teetering
starter
from
that we.
starting. Jacorian Bennett, he had that starting job to
Mm-hmm.
mix results at the start of the
Mm-hmm.
season. Aiden O'Connell, by default, was given that job, and he did well enough, like with all things considered. Um, but yeah, like I commented on the last live that we did. We did a grading scale for how you were in the chat feed. You
No,
saw,
yeah,
you saw
yeah.
what we did. And me and my guy on six and solo, we graded how we feel like the class did it as a collective unit last season, just for their rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave them a C minus. I thought it was pretty underwhelming, and I'm hoping to get more out of this draft class. And even last year's draft class still has been like a little underwhelming. Like, yeah, granted, we got Dylan Parham, who's a decent enough guy, teetering on good. Zamir White had a semi-emergence like in the last quarter of last season, which is
Yeah.
good to see. And Thea Mumford as well has been one of the better 7th round picks we've had in recent history. But outside of that, like, what have we got?
And you gave a fair grade too, because I would say C, because I feel like we missed. I mean, not missed. It's just it's going to take our players, I think, a little bit longer to develop than because I like what I seen out of Tucker.
Tucker, yeah.
I definitely like Mayer. Aiden showed us, definitely some grit. Nesta, I feel like has potential too, but it's just like we didn't get to see it.
No
This,
bullseye pick.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
no pick that we could say is like
yeah.
a Max Crosby, a
Mm-hmm.
Josh Jacobs kind of bullseye. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a Khalil Mack, a Derek
Yeah.
Carr, a Gabe Jackson.
Yeah.
You know, those kind of guys. Josh Jacobs that like from year one. Hunter Renfro, another guy. Like granted, he fell off in the last year or two, but like their first season, good. They were a good player right from the rip, and it was very disappointing we didn't get that from anybody. You know what I mean? Like good enough, but decent for their rookie year, but not like a bullseye pick just yet.
Like those flashes here and there, but and I agree, like what you said, like it has to be players that can start. It can't be guys that are going to be third string
and good starters.
Yeah,
good starters straight
like
from the
solid.
rip.
Yeah. Because if we can do that, that's why we spend so much in free agency, because we do so terrible in the draft that we have to make up for these gaps with these free agents. And if we could just start drafting well, the possibilities, man, like we could actually afford to trade up and all that kind of stuff if we do what we're supposed to do in the draft. Because the thing about like this year's draft, we had, I think it was 11 picks or some 12 picks, give or take 11 or 12, and we traded up for a couple of these guys. I think for Trey Tucker we traded up, for Mayer we traded up, and for Aiden, I think, right? Or no,
Bennett or Aiden, one of the two.
Yeah, one of those. And it's like, if you're trading up for guys, you want them to be starters, and so Mayer definitely has the potential. Tucker, I like what I seen. Like, he would definitely complements Jacoby and Devontae.
Right.
So I could see, well, saying it like that, I could see why they traded up for those guys. But like Bennett and stuff like that, because I feel like there was better DBs that we could have got that, but because the Bennett pick kind of surprised me on the DB that we took. Because I feel like if you wanted a DB, we could have got Gonzalez. If that was, because we could have got Gonzalez at that Tyree Wilson pick. And being that Tyree didn't have a impact on the season anyway, it would have been more productive. You know what I mean? And for us to get Bennett, when we know we needed a DB, when we let one pass right by us. That's what I say. Like, I just feel sometimes.
Wasn't there like a cornerback that was taken around that same region who had a really good year last year?
Weatherspoon?
I don't know who it was, but like something's kind of. I just had an epiphany. I saw or heard somewhere like a cornerback who was around that Jacorian Bennett region had a really stud kind of season last year.
Julius Brents, I want to say, went after Bennett, and he had a good year for the Colts. He was one of the Colts. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. You know what I mean? Like, But like I'm looking at like Byron Young was very disappointing. Didn't see nada from him. Christopher Smith didn't see sniff.
Didn't sniff the
Smith
field. Didn't
didn't
sniff the
sniff
field.
a snapper. Yeah, right. Like that was. I mean, maybe that was because he was outplayed by Polymel. Like shout out to Polymel, but like still, Christopher Smith like saw nada from him. But like Tyree Wilson, very underwhelming, disappointing. Like he did okay when we moved him to defensive tackle, but like the defense as a whole was playing like a house on fire, and like having the likes of Crosby doing his thing and Malcolm Kuntz emerging. Like of course it's going to help your interior to do some things, but like I'm also going to look at Michael Mayer. Like as much as he showed potential, and I thought he did okay, decent when he was targeted in that. And I was very impressed by his running blocking. That was better than what was expected. The scary thought is that like he didn't have that many receptions, and he had less receptions in his rookie season than Clive Walford and Michael Rivera in their rookie seasons. Damn. And I like Michael Rivera. I have fond memories of him. I still got his jersey in my closet. And Clive Walford, I thought was okay for a minute, but like in the grand scheme of things, look how they panned out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I want to see some more emergence from like all our rookies, but like Michael Mayer, like we have high hopes for him to be. I mean, people were calling him Baby Gronk, right? So let's see it.
Yeah, and like our tight ends in general, it felt like we barely called tight ends names this year. Like, and that was previous Raider history.
It's
our
been a
staple
point of strength for the longest time. Like with the likes of Zach Miller, with the likes of Jared Cook, for the likes of like as much as as bad as much as it was a disappointing and bitter end with Darren Waller tenure with the Raiders. There was greatness there for a minute. You know what I mean? Remember, he came out of nowhere in 2019. We signed him off a practice squad. He was languishing there with the Ravens as a wide receiver on the practice squad. Then we brought him over. He flashed potential in his first year with us in 2018 to the point where I actually bought his jersey after I saw the few plays he made in 2018. I bought his jersey. That's how confident I was that he was going to pan out, and he did pan out. He was. Remember, at his best, he was considered top 3 tight ends in the league. You know what I mean? Like, yes, he fell off at the end of his Raider career. Yes, it was a pretty disappointing ending, but at the same time, like he was a great Raider in his prime. You know what I'm saying? So he did carry the legacy, and is looking at the combine.
Yeah, let's go.
20 years, my
friend. Hey, we might need you out there, man. I'm telling you. Yep. Yeah, and it's crazy because so I think definitely we need to add another tight end. There's that guy. Oh goodness, what's the name of the dang team? It's Hollick. I think it's Holliker. He was in the Senior Bowl too. He plays for the Rams. I forget the name of the team though, but it's the Rams. It's like Colorado's either state or Colorado. What's the
Colorado State?
Yeah, I think it's Colorado State. They're like green and white.
The nemesis for Deion Sanders' team, right?
Yeah, dude, he's a big tight end, bro. Like, and I would definitely like to add something like that. I know they got the guy Bowers, but I don't think we're gonna take that, so early at 13. But but I think we can get that guy because he's a big weapon, and I think that would just help out because we need to start getting Mayer out there, catching passes. Not so much with the. I mean, yeah, he's got a block too, but I want to see him because he's got some wiggle, like the guy Laporta from Detroit. I wish if that was my favorite tight end was Laporta. And Mayer, a lot of people were hyped on Mayer, but you see Laporta was a beast out there. Like he had shakes and all kind of stuff. Like, and we need to find something like that because that's where Mayer can be successful. He's very good catching the ball. He can make people miss. He's a big dude. And I think we need to add because Hooper, we didn't hear Hooper's name a lot. it felt like very rarely, like every
Hooper was okay, but that's it. It's just like we were talking about the tight end. Like usually, it's been an area of strength. Like like I said, with Zach Miller. Remember Brandon Myers when he took over from Zach Miller, he was really good too.
Yeah.
And then like with the likes of Jared Cook, with the likes of I like Michael Rivera. I thought he was pretty decent for a minute. And then Darren Waller. Like last year's tight end production was one of the more meager years in terms of tight ends. But like, I'm looking for big things out of Michael Mayer. At the very least, I want him starting. Next season. And see what happens there.
Yeah, and I agree. Like this has been the worst tight end production that I could think of, and at least the last 10 or so years, because that's always been a staple for us, like having tight ends. Like like you said it earlier, Zach Miller, one of the most productive tight ends that I can remember. Like it was when we got rid of him, I hated that because like he was so crucial to our offense. I just felt like we should have added pieces around him, but because at that time I don't think we had any good wide receivers, so he was pretty much all we
had that ragtag group, like a lot of good number twos, like Denarius Moore. Darius Howard-Bay, Jacoby Ford, Lewis Murphy, Rod Streeter, like those kind of years. But like,
Rod Streeter.
I like Rod Streeter, but like I said, after Zach Miller, it was Brandon Myers, who actually did really well for a year or two. And then after him was Kevin Boss. You remember Kevin Boss?
Oh yeah, I remember. He came from the Giants.
Right, but we did draft, like I said, Michael Rivera, who turned out for a minute, and then we had Lee Smith for a while, who was probably the best blocking tight end that we've had in recent history. But I don't know if you remember this, but this is going back a while. Like he caught an open ball, I think it was 2017. And like he had nothing but green grass in front of him, but he was so slow. Like
he got caught.
The closest guy to him was like 20 yards away, and he was able to catch him. I know. We were going nuts. Like go, run! He's not gonna make it.
Man, he's not gonna make it. Yeah, it's crazy, man. We've seen some times.
Right.
Yeah. I think
another one that just sorry to cut you off. That I don't know. Since we're having an epiphany about like kind of funny little moments. Do you remember that tackle Marshall Newhouse?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember why I remember Marshall Newhouse?
Oh no.
Do you remember that fumble by Derek Carr, and like the only player that was close to the ball in the backfield was none other than Marshall Newhouse, and he picked the ball up and he tried to run like he's a big rugby player or a running back, and then he got his legs taken out from underneath him.
Oh, that's when he took the side.
He did like a helicopter.
Yeah.
He flopped like a whale. It was so funny that like the kind of still of him kind of in midair
with the legs.
He started selling T-shirts of it.
It's all.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I remember we had got him, I think, for the Niners too, right? Was that, or did he?
I think it was a Giant, but
was it the Giants? Okay.
Yeah, that's my only memory of Newhouse.
There was
that helicopter spin he did.
Yeah, when you think about, that's a good point too. Hopefully he does get us. This is the offense that uses their tight ends with Getsy.
Looks like Robert remembers.
Yeah, it's been some rough plays, man. I remember when we got Randy Moss, the whole, because there's been like it just reminded me of the AB thing. We get these players that we think are gonna be, like, okay, this is the legend Randy Moss. He's gonna, he's gonna be mossing cats and doing all this, and then I don't know if you guys remember that Patriots game where he got whacked. And
before my time.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was never the same after that. Like he got hit. It was I want to say either a Monday night game or a Sunday night, something like it was a night game. And yeah, he got whacked and he had back, some of his back or something like that. And then he just never was. He was like a shell of himself. And then I think he goes to, after us, back to Minnesota, I think. And then he ends up on the 49ers. And then all of a sudden, oh no, was it the Patriots? No, it was the Patriots after us, I think, right? Or did we get him from, no. Damn, I almost forgot. Did we get him from the Vikings or did we get him from the
Vikings? And then he went to Patriots and he had some of his best years.
That's what it was.
Well, he had Tom Brady, remember?
Yeah. Damn. That was one of the, like, that was a crazy year. There was so much scoring, and it was just like all Tom had to do was just whew. And then Randy was right there to get it. That is crazy because, that
was prime Tom Brady, wasn't it? Around that period.
Oh, yeah. That was, I think, I really think that was Tom Brady's best years. Right. I think that's when he was at his peak. And it was crazy because everyone was saying after Moss left us that he was washed and all this kind of stuff. And then look what he did.
Right.
The slouch. Yeah. Remember that? The slouch when what's his name? Revis Island. Daryl Revis called him a slouch. He called Randy a slouch, and then he had like 3 touchdowns on him that next time they played. He's like, let's see how the slouch did.
But for the most part, Daryl Revis was great for a minute.
Yeah.
But I got another not so fond memory that we're just talking about him, but we can look back on and laugh at. I'll see if you remember this one. 2012, a forgettable for the most part year. It was the start of the Reggie McKenzie tenure because our team had no draft capital because we traded all our picks away and we were in salary cap hell. So we went through a very rough ride between 2012, 2013, and 2014. Mm-hmm. But 2012, I believe it was the season opener. We played against the Chargers. I believe the game was in Oakland. So we still got that dirt on the field, being that like it's still in baseball season. Anyways, that game, our long snapper, I think it was John Kondo. It was a good enough long snapper. Could be. Yeah. I think it was him.
Yeah.
He went down to injury, and we didn't have another long snapper. So we went to a linebacker who did nothing of significance with the Raiders, was a depth guy, but he was the best with what we had at the time. And his name, and I never forgot his name because of said game, was Travis Gatel. Now, does that name ring a bell?
Definitely so. Yeah,
I remember what happened that game when we brought in Travis Gatel to take the long snaps, and mind you, we were playing well that game, and we needed it was like a really tight game, like within a 3.6 point deficit. Mm-hmm. And this Gaithel cat, like every ball, like you had one job, snap it, get it to your punter, get it to your place kicker. You know what I mean? And every ball was like, it was just rolling on the And I think 2 of his punts got blocked because they were just so bad. Yeah. And oh man, I never forgot that game. And I only recently had to go back because I was talking about it with my guy on 6, because we were kind of having the same conversation about some of our least favorite memories, and I had to go back. I was like, do I remember that correctly, or because it's been a while, and sure enough, it was as bad, if not worse, when I went back and watched the highlights from that game. And I was like, oh my god, I remember being so angry about that performance. I went on do you remember Silver and Black Pride? You know that website?
Yeah.
Like a chat forum. That before there was Twitter and Instagram. I went on that and I did my thing. I was like, that fucking Gaithel cat. I fucking hate him. Got him now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's the Super Bowl, the 2002 Super Bowl, because I got to go to some of the playoff games before that, and it seemed like it was our year, it was number 1 offense against the number 1 defense. And it was like, okay, we got this. It's the Buccaneers at the end of the day. And it just how we crumbled in that game was just the pick sixes. That's all I remember is pick six, and it was just like, who is this team that's on the field? And it's not just what was happening in the game. It was, remember, the Barrett Robbins, our center at the
Center that
time,
went AWOL.
MIA at
Yeah.
the
See,
most
this is
biggest
way
game
before
in
my
your.
time. Like I heard the stories and I know the history.
Oh.
I would have been 13 in high school, and there was no way I could watch Raider football back then, even if I wanted to. No such thing as streaming services, and the cable TV was just like, we were lucky to get maybe 1 or 2 NFL games a week, let alone Raider football.
Yeah.
And then, like, because there's no such thing as PVR back then, I would have had to use a VHS tape to record. See, I'm showing my age.
Shoot, when I was a kid in Oakland, like, shoot, sometimes they would black out games, and we lived in the damn city. You know what I mean? Like, we're like, how do you black out in the city that you live in? So it was nuts. They show Charger games and all this kind of stuff. We're like, how do you show these? And we live here. You know what I mean? So yeah,
isn't that because they want you to go to the game?
Basically, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just so weird because, like, I know a couple games have been blacked out on what you call it, the Hulu and stuff like that, and it's certain games that they don't really play. But it's kind of sometimes when the Niners are playing at the same time, I notice we get bumped out because of kind of the battle.
Yeah, but that's why I get there's a service over here called Game Pass, where it's now moved to Dazen, where like you pay a yearly subscription and you can watch every game either live or on repeat, like or watch it. Like, say I wake up and the game's at halftime, I can put the game on and start it from the beginning. You know what I mean? So because the games are on at such odd times for me, like I can just it's the most convenient way for me to ensure that I can watch every snap of Raider football from start to finish. But I have to stay spoiler free, like away from Instagram and Facebook and all that. Until I've watched the games, and I turn all DM notifications off. It's like, I want to know, I don't want to hear it from anybody. Yeah. Leave me the fuck alone if I'm watching the game on delay.
Yeah. So the Super Bowl for you is going to be later
in the morning.
Oh damn!
So what time does the game start?
I'm gonna say like 3:30ish. It's always some weird time, 3:14 or 3:22.
So if it's at 3:30, 4 o'clock, we're 16 hours ahead. So the way I do it is like the opposite plus 4 because they're on the West Coast. So that would be about 7:30 a.m. Monday.
Oh, okay. Damn. Yeah. Well, I mean, it won't. Like I said, it won't really matter. It kind of won't matter anyway. You know what I mean? But it's like I don't know. I'm excited just to see the last of football. You know what I mean? Just that's the only reason I'm like, this is all we got till August. So,
can someone just blow our brains out already?
I know it's sad that we gotta, but somebody's got to lose. So I'm banking on that part. On that.
Hopefully, it's the Niners. I'm only gonna settle for the Niners winning because of what you said.
So. Yeah, that's it. Like that's the only reason, and it sucks because we know why it sucks, but it should be us. But until it's us, we got to watch this crap. So
or not at all.
Yes, or
not. I'm not even gonna watch. I'm not even gonna watch a snap. Like, now that I think about it, like just. If I'm bored and I want a way to invest myself in a sport game, like I do what you did, put a bet on it. So maybe just to make myself semi interested, I might like find like a performance bet or even a who wins the game kind of bet, just to put a sneaky $20 and give me something to invest in the game. Because outside of that, if I don't have a bet on it, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, because I definitely, because like I said, I'm gonna watch it because, like I said, somebody's gonna cry, someone's gonna be happy, but there's gonna be that pan to the other side, and there's gonna be the towel, like we said, the towel on head. That's my favorite part. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to that part because somebody's gonna get their feelings hurt.
Right.
But
well, hopefully sooner rather than later, it can be our team causing those feelings to get hurt.
Yes. Right? Oh man, wouldn't that be great if it was the team that's playing in the Super Bowl against us?
Right.
We'll leave it at that.
Why can't it be us? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but like, I guess that's what makes being a Raider fan so great is that, especially for guys like myself who's never really seen any success. Like the closest I've seen to success is 2 playoff appearances in 15 years that I've been a fan, but I've been through it all, and I've watched every season where we've struggled from start to finish. And I've been through the struggle. I've been through those seasons where we lost 10 straight, where we're 3-13. You know what I mean? And like I'm still here, doing my thing. Still, you all know how much I bleed silver and black. So when the day comes when we're finally like a successful team and we get over that hunt, it's just going to make everything that much sweeter, right? Like for us guys who've been through the struggle.
Yeah, definitely so. That's what I say. One of these years, we're going to be right. We're going to be, everything that we say, we're going to be right. And I feel like we're closer than we have been in a while. That made me smile too, Tony, when I seen that. He said my homie has thrown multiple picks in 2 Super Bowls. That makes me very happy. I hope it continues. Right. And see, the thing about last year, which was crazy, is I always wish injury on him. Not nothing permanent where, what I'm saying, just enough to knock him out the game and, hopefully he's all right the next one. But
right.
But with him, he got hurt. I think it was last year too. He had like the knee or whatever, and then he still won the damn Super Bowl. So you got to hit him harder. Right. But the
Niners have a pretty vaunted defense, right?
Yeah, this is the best matchup for him. I think this was the best possibility for them to lose was going against SF. Because Purdy, it's going to depend on Purdy. It really is. Like Purdy and because I feel like if you're smart, you're going to stop MC. You're going to stop McCaffrey. And so that's going to force Purdy to have to be that guy. You know what I mean? To be accurate, take advantage of every opportunity. Because I feel like if they're smart, they're going to lock down MC. Wherever he goes, we go. We follow him. We're not going to let him kill us.
I'm going to take my leave because it's now 2:17 a.m. and I appreciate you having me on. But before I do, just throwing it out there, wouldn't it be something if Cleve Farrell had like a Malcolm Smith kind of game, like an unheralded guy who does enough to win, to make a splash and be the Super Bowl MVP? Remember Malcolm Smith?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know the Patriots will always be thankful. Always be thankful for him. And Seattle will always hate him.
No. Malcolm Smith, the linebacker, the Seattle Seahawks.
And they got the pick. He's the one that got the pick for that. Remember when they should have ran it to
you're talking about the cornerback.
Marshawn. No, that wasn't that Malcolm Smith? They got the pick?
No. I believe you're talking about Malcolm Butler.
I'm tripping. Yeah, you're right.
I'm talking about Malcolm Smith, who was a linebacker with a depth linebacker with the Seahawks, and he got, I think, 2 interceptions that game. I think one of them might have been a pick 6, but he wasn't one of their household names. That was the year they won the Super Bowl, the Seahawks, and then the very next year we signed him over to the Raiders,
and he didn't do.
He was okay, but not like. It wasn't really that good.
Yeah.
But like back to what I was saying, like, wouldn't that be something if Cleve Farrell, because he's an unheralded guy with the Niners, he's not one of their household names, had like a Malcolm Smith kind of game, did some things to make a splash play, like maybe cause a sack or 2 sacks, maybe a sack fumble, and then sure enough, the Niners win. I mean,
we can say Gruden was right. We can say Gruden and them were right about Cleve.
I kind of don't want it to happen because it's just like, yeah, right. As soon as these players aren't Raiders anymore, they just all of a sudden just figure it out, right? Like, how many times has that happened of late.
Keyshawn Nixon is one of the ones.
Keyshawn Nixon, Arden Key. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Oh, there was
Even
another
Jihad Ward's apparently doing decently with the Ravens, right?
Fabian Moreau. remember that guy?
Who?
Fabian
Washington.
Was it Fabian Washington or Fabian Moreau? One of those.
You're not talking about Foster Moreau, right?
No. I think it was either Fabian. He was one of our DBs. I think he was like 27. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
2007.
His number. He was 27. Fabian.
I know we had a Fabian Washington back in the day.
Yeah, Fabian Washington, and I think Fabian Moreau. If I'm not, I could be wrong about that one. Yeah, but he went somewhere else. He was with us, and then quickly got rid of him, and then he's still playing for the other team he got traded to. So,
right,
yeah, it's like we know how to pick them. It's just they don't develop fast enough, or by the time they do, they're on another team.
You're not talking about Nicholas Moreau, are you?
No, not. I wonder what happened to him too. Linebacker.
Yeah, I don't think he amounted to much after he got injured with us.
Yeah,
Fabian. Is it Moreau? Like
Yeah, I think. Just like Foster's,
Okay, well, there is a Fabian Moreau. Well, he was never a Raider.
Oh, he never played for us. I thought he was one of our draft picks that never worked here, but then went somewhere else.
No.
Oh, maybe I did have him switched up with Fabian Washington. Yeah, because Fabian Washington, I think, was one of our picks that didn't work too well. But
yeah, I know Fabian Washington was a Raider. I mean, he was a first round draft pick in 2005, apparently.
Yeah, he was supposed to be, because we had Chris Johnson and all. Remember that era? We had he was supposed to be a fast, quick DB, but then he was always injured.
Wasn't Chris Carr another corner from that?
Chris Carr, I like Chris Carr. That was one of my favorite 23 jerseys.
Was he the one who got that 100-yard interception? I think I saw that highlight the other day.
I think 100 and something,
Yeah, I think that was Chris Carr.
He was the better car. He was the better car. That the battle of the cars. Yeah. Yep. So it's gonna, we'll see how it turns out.
Nick Moreau is starting for the Eagles? Really? No way.
I swear. Because I remember last time I had heard he was on was it the Bears?
He is. How did he go this year? Out of curiosity.
Yeah, I hadn't heard his name all season. I forgot about Nick.
I like Nicholas Moreau. I thought he was good. For a guy who was an undrafted free agent in 2017, I believe. I think he did well. He was actually doing well enough that he was. Remember, was it 2019 or 2020? He was supposed to be the defensive captain, and then he got hurt in training camp, and he never saw the field. And then that was the last we saw of him as a Raider. But just to go from being an undrafted free agent, working your way up to being what he should have been the defensive captain. I mean, that's something for Nicholas Moreau. So
definitely so.
I got good memories of him. But anyways, I'm gonna take my leave and get some sleep.
Yeah,
take a dirt nap through this Super Bowl that I couldn't give one shit about. So
definitely. Hey, well, definitely.
Only for your sake, I hope the Niners win. Right?
Thank you. I appreciate it. But either way, it's gonna suck. But at least there'll be somebody paying and there'll be someone receiving. So,
right.
Yeah. So thank you for coming on, brother. I'm gonna send you some more links and stuff too in the future too, and get some sleep, get some rest, and hopefully wake up to some semi good news.
Right.
But yeah, can't wait for this off season. We're gonna get these interviews cranking, and yeah, let's get it going.
Is it free agency yet? I'm bored.
I know, man. I hope I wake up in this time.
It's time.
For sure. Appreciate you.
It's gonna be like what's it, UFC? It's time.
It's time. Yeah, let them know where they can find you too.
Well, it's not really much point in me doing it because it's the people in the chat are all the guys who rock with me anyways. So
for sure. Hey.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks everyone. And look, I'm Afakazi Raider for anyone who watched the replay, but it's all the same names I see in my feed. So I love you. You guys love me.
Hey,
it's all love. So
man, tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Tell somebody to tell somebody.
Tell somebody to tell somebody. Until then, it's all about Raider Nation, Jason, and getting his numbers up. So
hey,
I'm out to go take a sleepy sleep. All right.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
All right, my brother. Thank you.
Take care, mate.
Yes, sir. You too. Appreciate you guys, man. Yeah, we've been on for about 2.5 hours now. So thank you everybody for pulling up, for Coach Vic stopping through. I know nerves are probably crazy. You got the biggest game of your life. So hopefully things work out for you, my brother. To Raider Nation, it sucks on our end. We got to watch two people that we don't like to ever play each other. One will win, one will lose. Somebody will cry tears of joy. Someone will cry tears of pain. I can't wait till after the game to see it. And hopefully it's a good game. It's the last one, so let's enjoy it. Appreciate everybody for stopping through. And I will let you guys get to the rest of your day. So love you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you. And Raiders all damn day. Let's go.